Huh?
I said, I hope your microphone's good because we're not going to hear anything because of all the noise in the shop. Welcome back. Hey, welcome back. Your semi-monthly, bi-weekly shop update video with Brian behind the camera and myself, Jeremy. We're getting ready for LST. We're going to actually bring the trailer down and load it up tomorrow. So we have hats out, and these are all going to LST. We have Frank's wheels, which are not going to LST. We have a bunch of parts for Manny's truck. Frank is really kind to us because he paints stuff. I guess it's better to have it before we need it than not have it and need it, but this stuff all got painted, and he just throws it up here on our couches and tables and stuff. So this is all for Manny's truck. We've already kind of put the radiator and fan stuff back together, but there's a bunch of noise on this side of the shop, so we're going to take it a long way. So let's go for a walk. Oh, and I got my bike. This is ready for LST also. Let's go take the long way. I'll give you some behind the scenes look. So these are all of our shirts. So all this stuff has to go into the trailer tomorrow. We've got koozies. We've got our big cooler. We've got all our tables and our easy up. And we have Milan's seats up top there. You gotta wait for the camera to move. It's a smart camera. And then we have some shot wheels for a future build in there as well. Ready? Let's go. It's kind of just parts room. Lights are automatic. Pretty neat. All our old LS stuff that we don't ever need, unless we're like painting a motor, then we put old valve covers on. We keep all our Resto Mod stuff here. We built like a makeshift fittings container. So we have all of our 10s, 8s, 6s, pressures, suctions, yada yada. Hardline. Not that we do a bunch of it, but we have some of it. And then over here, we're trying to get this better. So it's a little empty right now over here because we're trying to get the stuff organized better. Like we have little clipboards now that says where everything is. So like if it's at Frank's or on our shelf or on the truck. We have some Vire compressors. We don't stock any of this stuff unless it's for customer. So like these are mine for my dually. These are Frank's for his dually. These are Preston's for his OBS. So all this stuff that you see, like the Roadster Shop gas tank, this suspension kit for the caddy, some bumpers, all this stuff is all customer stuff. These are some of our extra parts. So anybody watching, if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, what is that? I could use that. Hit me up. I'll sell it to you. We have like old AccuAir CVT tanks you can convert to just a tank. We have steering columns, instrument bezels, trans coolers, brake master cylinders and boosters. More stuff over here. A couple Bear Brakes kits. We have one for the Roadster Shop chassis that's currently sitting at my house, and then one for the same chassis that those wheels in the other room are for. And then again, this is just kind of where we set stuff. We got a 6L80 for Aaron Reed and the Patina 59 on a Rev B chassis. And then got all Larry Gloria stuff up here. And then that one is all Bronco stuff. And then again, we have some extra stuff. Weird amp steps over there for no reason. No idea. And then over here, you've seen some of this. Oh, another set of pretty cool wheels. Look at that. Oh, the spinner. Oh, there they go. They spin. Anyway, they float. But they're weighted, so I can't just spin them. They're internally spinning. But these are pretty cool. These are going on that Cadillac that Frank just painted. We're just waiting for the engine to show up before we bring it over here. We have suspension, brakes are on order, all that fun stuff. So this will be coming in soon. A couple of the parts that we built at one point and nobody ever bought. These are actually on our website. These are little grinder holders. So for you garage warrior guys that want somewhere to, oh, look out. Cameraman's falling. Camera probably didn't even move, did it? These are grinder holders. So like garage warriors, come on, these are cool. They're patinaed. So you can just hang your 4.5-inch grinder on there. So anyway, we needed a couple here, so I built some extra. Then we sold some, and then nobody bought any cents. 3-gallon CV or 3-gallon AccuAir VT tanks or tank mounts for square bodies, 5-gallon ones. We got a couple 10-inch bed floors. We don't make any of these parts really anymore. I think we have like a garage sale section on the website. They're on there. And then this is all our tailgate latch area. So Kyle came in, I think over the weekend, and got enough kits put together for us to take to LST because we just sold 100 to some of the distributors, so we were cleaned out. So for LST, which we leave for, the guys leave Wednesday, we have 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, we have 16, 67, and 72 kits. So if you're looking for one of those at LST, come by early and get them, and then we'll probably bring somewhere around the same for the square body ones. So these are all square body ones. These are all 67 and 72s. And all these are all the parts that it takes to put them together. And then we have a little ship station, just because I had an extra old computer. All right. Let's talk about the stuff that you want to see, like trucks and things. This is Brandon White's square body. We've shown you this a few times in the past, but it's ready to go home because he lives here in town locally and he provided a bunch of these parts. So what we're going to do is I've got probably around 250 miles on it. When it got tuned and driven around, Kyle thinks he did probably 50 or so miles on it, maybe a little bit more, but it didn't have a GPS speedo at the time. So when we got it back, put the speedo in it, and I've got just short of 200 miles on it. And this thing rips. Let's show you the engine. So big 2650 Magnuson. It's got some slosh tubs in it that are meant for just a lowered truck, so they're not super high like for a bag truck. And it has notches in there for like the factory AC, but since we're running Restomod air on this one, kind of made the AC lines look like the notches were there for those. We did our electric over hydraulic brake booster that's available on our website, and I tell you about every video because I don't feel like enough of you guys order them. We have a crankcase breather over here that he supplied us. We just mounted there. I almost fell again. Radiator overflow, entropy radiator. All this stuff was powder coated. We still got to put some hood bumpers in it. We got some LS little shop, as I like to call them, because LS sounds like an engine. But some little shop hinges with the struts on them, so those are killer. Steve did all the interior in this one. Snowden bucket seats that he ordered, and then Dom wrapped the dash. Steve built out the bottom of the door panels, took out the pocket, and put in a set of Morel 3-ways there. Did all the exhaust, did all the plumbing, did all the wiring. We've got our little billet. He's had this in here for a while. This is our billet fuel filler door. So you can see Boyd's tank. This thing's been in here for a while. Milan's truck. We got it up in the air on jack stands now because we wanted to start getting our gas tank laid out. Basically, we're going to put a tank in the stock location, and we're going to try to use the stock filler neck. So we kept the tank real shallow to keep it from hitting the ground, because normally on the Suburbans and Tahoes, the rear gas tank hangs down a bunch. But we made up for the height by making it a pretty big box. So this is just over 20 gallons. And then we did all kinds of baffling inside. And then the fuel pump will sit in here, and we've got an air motive pump with the, whatever, the foam around it and everything, and the basket in the bottom. So even if you was super low on fuel, this thing should keep all the fuel right by the pump. And it's not a race truck, so we don't have to worry about it being hot. But what we want to do is we want to get this mounted in the truck and then get that transition over. So before we go and weld the whole top on, we'll make our mess for that. So we'll drill these holes, we'll drill and tap for the fuel sender, figure out the filler, and then that can go in. We're still just giving Mike a little break. We've got some money to spend on it, but we're trying to wrap up a couple dualies too. So flip around. We have Chef's truck here, which I think in the last video 2 weeks ago I said was about ready to go home, but we had some transmission issues I didn't like. So we fixed those, got it back on the road, driving actually this morning. So I'll go put like another 150 miles on it, make sure everything's golden, and then can finally go home. I don't even want to say that because I feel like I'm going to jinx myself, because I feel like I've been saying that for 3 months, but hopefully, maybe soon, that'll go home. So we have Larry Gloria's truck, Mr. Swiss Cheese. This thing has been a sheet metal phenomenon Every time we think we're done, we find another hole. So all the trim holes, random holes here. I guess that would be for the lower trim, but then like on the bed, there was no holes for the lower trim, so we don't really know what was going on here. The doors still need to be gapped. Fenders, cowl, hood still needs to be gapped, but most of the holes are done. We're doing something kind of trick with the tailgate, so we'll cruise around and show you that. Chris warped the hell out of the bed back here. Now Chris is falling. Why is everybody tripping today? Why are you tripping? And you can't really get in there to hammer it, so we're gonna have to stud it. But back here, we're doing something kind of cool because I didn't want to do a bolt-on piece for this one because all the bead rolls are going in, so it would have been difficult. And then you got to be able to bolt the tailgate latch in from this side. So he actually modified the tailgate latch so that the bolt holes were symmetrical and not all wonky like factory. But looks like he's trimming it up. And then this will actually get welded in. So rather than this being a bolt-in piece like we normally do, this will become part of the tailgate. And then once this is done, then he can address gaps up here. But these bead rolls will match the bead rolls on the floor, which matches the bead rolls on the front. Has our tailgate latch kit in it. It'll all look nice and shiny and good when it's done, because all this is getting painted, no bed liner. Pace truck, haven't touched it in 2 weeks. It's ready for more work. We're not ready for more work yet. Chris is staying busy on this. Hector's off today, because today is President's Day, and Hector wanted to honor the presidents. We did order wheels for this, and they should be here probably like in 2 weeks or so. Chris' truck, I'm ordering the Marquet bedwood for it today, but other than that, it hasn't been touched. This is kind of the untouched zone, these two trucks. And then have we seen this yet? I've seen this. So this is Jared's truck. Yeah, we have, because somebody sent me the logo on the back. I thought was like a car club or something, but that's actually the shop that built it. It sent me a Instagram post from forever ago, and this truck had probably just recently put together. So got rid of the carburetor on the LS. We're going to fuel injection. We learned that this thing's actually it's an iron block, but it's a 6.2, so it's a relatively newer than I thought it was. I thought this was like an 04 engine, but this is newer. So we got a modern vintage harness coming for this. We put a 4L70 transmission from Jason over at Choice in it. We have put the bed back on. We've got a gas tank in it. So the gas tank was originally inside the cab. So we moved the gas tank back here. We started, actually all the plumbing for the fuel is already done. We started wiring. We got a pigtail right here for the pump and the sending unit. So Olin has been sorting out all the air management stuff. We made a mount for the battery on this side, and we put a circuit breaker right next to it, because you always put a circuit breaker within a foot of the battery. Over here, we've relocated the air compressors from back there, where the gas tank now is, to up here. So he's got two big old air zeniths in here. So we got to plumb and wire those. We got our transmission cooler for the 4L70. This is the mount that we make, bolts right in, easy cheesy, made out of aluminum. Not plumbed yet, but it is wired. So we've got our ABS module over there for the brakes. We've got, what did I say that was? Transcooler, compressors, battery, all been mounted in this thing. So kind of cruising on this one, hoping to get it out of here pretty soon. Then over here we have the Dueling Doues. So
would you look at that stud?
Look at that stud. That's such a stud. So, not that we're big dually guys, but so my axle and Frank's axle, I actually stole my axle. Wow, that sounded like I said axle twice. I actually stole my axle out of Milan's Suburban, because Milan's was an 8-lug Suburban. So basically we're just using the housing and stuff, because these are all, I think, had 1 million miles on it. So all new bearings in here. We'll rebuild the center section, but that gives us the right width. But we have to run bigger studs, because the fleet side axles had small studs that won't mount up. They will, but not very well, the dually wheels. So disc brake conversion, all new bearings, new seal, slap them on, and this rear suspension is almost done. All we have to do is the shocks. And the shock is actually going to be conveniently located off of the lower link bolt. And then we'll throw a couple tabs right there. So the shock will sit there. This is my truck, so it sat for however many years, so we put a new gas tank in it. Built the upper wishbone around the gas tank. We just barely clear drive shaft. We just barely clear cross member. We'll brace this with a tube down to there. But all this stuff is super stout. It's all double layered 3/16. Even the top here is 2 layers of 3/16. And kind of made it look neato. So little reliefs in the corner so I can run the bag airline through here. It's not going to cycle a whole bunch right now, but you let the jack out and show you. We have like 2-3 degrees of pinion change. I think we have like an 1/8 inch of movement front to back. Like it actually, from ride height, it goes forward 1/8 and back 1/8. So it's a 1/4 inch total plunge, which is totally acceptable. Actually good. Franks, same deal. You can see kind of what we're talking about with the studs. So this has already been, bearings have been reinstalled. The studs have been installed. Brake rotor's on here. We've checked the caliper. We've got to do a little bit of sanding on the mount. And those can go on. But all his suspension's done as well. We just kind of did the suspension first on this one because he had bolt-in weird notch and all kinds of crap going on. So now that we knew that mine worked good, did it on his. Now we'll come in with the notch, do our cross member, mount our bags and shocks on this one. After we do these two, we have one for Shane to do as well. So I've been ordering everything in 3s. So we have all the lowers for Michigan Metalworks. We've got all the steering stuff, the bag cups, the upper shock mounts that he sends you to weld on. So we have all this stuff here, plus axles for the new Bronco, plus all the AccuAir stuff for both of these trucks. There's more over here. And a radiator for the 56 Chevy, because who knows how old that radiator was, and it was overheating a little bit, just sitting in a nice, cool shop. So figured I needed a new radiator, but Steve at Elevated Design had a hole in his schedule for the 56. So if you remember the black 56 Chevy truck, step side, with the LS in it that we rewired and replumbed and lowered the back of and did a couple other things, that one's now over interior getting done. So, and the last thing we'll show you is the bed. So we're gonna do the same bed on both trucks. Basically what we figured out was this notch is somewhere around 8 inches higher than the factory frame, but we've got a 2-inch cross member that goes right here under the bed. So if we cut that 2-inch cross member out and give ourselves clearance, we can raise the bed floor 6 1/4 inches. And if you come over here and look, 6 1/4 inches actually looks pretty good. We were able to take it out of the top in here. And then what we did was we cut the hole inside away from the hole outside and dropped it over. So what that did is left us just enough room to put a weld up here, and you'll never see it. And then we just have a step at the back. And we held our step from the tailgate because this piece leans in like that way. So if we would have raised the whole bed floor, it would have ran into the tailgate up here. I've seen people do that, and they'll notch in the tailgate, and it looks like crap. This is all working. Did I scare Laramie? Still got to put the LS Fab bed shock on here. All right, so that's going to be a wrap for today. Today is Monday. Guys leave. We load up the trailer tomorrow, so we're just going to bring my patina truck, and then a bunch of shirts and hats and tailgate latch kits and smiles from all the guys, and probably some drinks in the cooler. But anyway, we'll load up the trailer tomorrow, Tuesday. The guys hit the road Wednesday. Hector, Frank, and myself fly out Thursday. So if you're watching this video right now, we're gonna have this ready by Thursday. So Brian actually leaves Wednesday too. So this video will probably be ready to post by like tonight, but I'll probably do like a post it on Thursday or something. So if you're watching this, we're probably at LST, unless you're like one of the really cool kids that gets on YouTube right away when I post and you have your notifications bell clicked, so that way you get the notification, then you could watch it Thursday, and then you could see us at LST on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before we head home. Anyway, thanks for watching. New shirts at LST, same hats that we have on the website at LST, and then as soon as LST is over, I'll do inventory on all the shirts, and we'll get the really 2 new shirts that we have, but one of them comes in 2 colors. We'll get those on the website. If you want one first, go to LST. If you want a tailgate latch kit, you see we're only bringing 16. Get there early, because we'll probably sell out of those. See ya. next time. Bye.